We are discussing chapter 128 from Truth Without Apology by Acharya Prashant. The title of the chapter is All is Well Until It Isn't. And there is a quote on the very top before the chapter even starts. It says, if your sense of wellness depends on something outside of you or outside you, it isn't wellness, it's insecurity.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Anything dependent basically is kind of a red flag, right? Because
Yeah.
if the thing that it is dependent on, if that goes, then whatever is on top, whatever you've built on top of that, it's also, you know, bound to be bound to go with along with that. So
sandcastles.
yeah,
Fantastic. I mean, from day to day life, we can take small examples. Like if you spend um, relatively even a small amount of time with a particular object, a material object, our inbuilt tendency is to get attached to that. And we start calling it like names like, okay, I cannot live without this. I actually absolutely love this. So we start giving attributes to that.
Yeah.
And initially we think that I am the owner of this object, but the object becomes our owner. I can give you a very simple example from my life. When my daughter was like about 4 or 5 years old, I was in the process of setting up her room, and we were actually getting her uh, a mattress and a bed. And we went to the shop. We bought a very nice mattress and a bed. And initially, she thought she liked it, and we made sure that we got it delivered. Once she slept there for like 2 3 days, and then suddenly she started feeling uncomfortable. So she would come and sneak through in my bed, and she would be like, "No, Daddy, I'm feeling this bed very cozy. This is really nice bed. I don't like my bed very much." And I was very upset because he did not want to part with my bed, because I just realized I was listening to Acharya, and I thought like, how am I so attached to my bed? I mean, is it not possible for me to just give this bed to my daughter? And I was feeling so much resistance that because my wellness, my sleep, everything was dependent on that bed. I had kind of made it. Uh, I just did not realize how I was so hopelessly attached, because I would not feel. I would not go to sleep even if I go to good hotels. Their beds also I would not feel very comfortable. I was so accustomed to my bed. So it took me a time, and it took a little bit of inner work for me to part my ways with my bed. I gave it to my daughter eventually, because I just wanted to try it, and I wanted to put myself through that pain and suffering. I was like, let me see if I can sleep on her bed. And her bed was really uncomfortable actually. First thing, I mean, it was not of the same height. I mean, I had to crawl my, I had to squeeze my feet a little bit from the end, and it was not very comfortable. But I think at some point I saw that how hopelessly I was attached to my bed. But more I put myself through that suffering, I could see that it was just on a mental level. But if the body is really tired, it doesn't really matter with the bed or anything. It just, because you are so tired, you'll just sleep anywhere, even on the floor. Because that's how I used to sleep in India. I used to sleep on floor, and I never had this complaint. So more you accustom yourselves to the comforts, more you get attached to them, and then you start putting your wellness on these material objects.
Two things I can think of is ambition and partner. I mean, that sums it up for a lot of people. The wellness is outside of me when I say my ambition is so important that I can give anything for it. But in one of the lectures, Acharya was saying, you call it ambition, but if you really be honest with yourself, it's your insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can really elaborate on it. And then the other person, the other thing that I was saying was the partner. You are my world, you're my other half, you complete me. Who will I be without you? My heart cannot live a single day without you. Like, I mean, these statements are like, they're supposed to be, oh, they give us that warm feeling, but it's bullshit.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
right?
What
Because
comes to a, yeah.
if it's outside you, is there some element of truth in these things? If you have, please correct me. I mean, I would love to learn.
These are certain things which we have borrowed from society. So more we inquire into these statements, more we find the hollowness, like how they are not very true. I mean, I would want anybody else to elaborate on that.
What came to my mind was while reading the chapter was the illusion, the balloon of illusion, which is just floating around with adding more illusions, and then with some coincidence, some pin hits it, it's burst, and that's the worst situation that one can be. So what we do is we keep ourselves in illusion with the relationship or work or any daily activity with as you said about the material like the bed, we just keep ourselves in illusions, right? And then when I was listening today to Acharyaji, he was talking about when you just looking for an option, like for what happens with me when I'm reading at the night. I take a book in my hand and I'll start yawning in like maybe 1 or 2 pages, and then I think that I need to sleep now. But when I'm going to sleep, I'm just sleeping with my open eyes. I'm not able to. That was just maybe what's an English word for bahana? Just an excuse.
Excuse,
Just an
yeah.
excuse I'm giving myself to run away from reading, like doing the right thing, right? So that's what the first thing the example came to my mind was the balloon of illusion while reading the chapter.
One of the teachers I used to listen to at one point was Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he once said, if you love someone, I'm quoting it, uh, gift them your favorite shirt. Very simplistic, but it's very hard to gift your favorite shirt.
Oh yeah.
It's your
This is
favorite shirt, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
this is uh, that custom of renouncing, right? In India, there's like, tyag is basically appreciated in a lot of cultures, right? They expect you to, and that's why in the havan you put ghee, because ghee used to be very precious, and they used to like wash shivlings with milk and all, because milk used to be precious. They used to donate gold and stuff, because whatever is the most precious to you, if you are willing to go let go of that, and that's the practice, that's the thing that they're trying to enforce. Now people are still going ahead and pouring milk when they have, buckets of gold lying around.
Hmm.
Yes.
Right.
So when you said the example of the shirt, the thing came to mind was we have seen Acharyaji putting different caps every session after the session in the book signing events, and then someone asked for the cap, right, and he just gave it right away. He loves to put the caps, and I think if we were there at that place and if we love something, we won't be able to give it to somebody, right?
Yeah, cap is a very low standard for that person, man.
Yeah.
Cap is nothing for him. He's
Yeah.
giving up so much.
The point is that, like, I have so much money that I can buy him whatever shirt he or she wants.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you want, I'll get you exactly that. But he's saying your favorite shirt, and that's why in some Christian stories, people have made fun of it and twisted these stories where God gave His Son. But I always
Hmm.
thought of this story as He gave His most precious to the
Hmm.
world or
Yeah.
something, right?
That. Yeah.
And I think even in the scriptures we read about, or we actually talk about sir kat ke dena, how would we say in,
Mm.
right? So
Hmm.
that's the ego to drop him.
I
Surrender.
mean, when
Surrender.
you say favorite, right? I would start with what actually a thing, an object becomes your. I mean, what it make, why it becomes your favorite. Where does it start becoming your favorite? I would try to
Yeah.
inquire into that. Like, what is it making your favorite? Why you call it your favorite? Why you just label it as your favorite? And why the inquiry stops there? Because the moment you label something, you don't want to go deeper into that. Why? What makes it favorite?
Yes.
What is it actually inside you is making that thing as your favorite? So if you go deeper into that, you will find out, probably you'll find the roots of where that is coming from and what is it inside that object. Probably it's nothing with the object. It's probably there is some underlying beliefs you are holding on to, which is actually a manifestation of those beliefs in the form of that object outside.
That
So,
that is dependence probably is like how we can tie it back to the chapter, right? So dependence on some particular object maybe might not be all your favorite objects. Maybe some favorite objects you're okay to let go of still, but
mhm,
part of that favorite objects which are just so core to your identity, or like which you are
identity.
depending on almost, those are very hard to let go, right? So those things, if you inquire enough, then you'll probably find, what's the part of identity that I am associating with this particular thing. Like for some people it would be their spouses, or if my spouse dies, I am nothing, I am lost, or things like that. If my I don't know, if my house is set on fire, I am nothing then. Or you know those kind of things affect you the most, which you are like very closely associating yourself, your identity with.
And these are inbuilt, I mean, these are just spontaneous reactions our mind is just throwing.
Hmm.
And we just listen to those thoughts. And those are like auto generated thoughts.
Yeah.
We listen to those thoughts, and then we stop our inquiry there because something inside, I mean, it's ego is lurking there. It does not want you to look at that place because it's hiding there. And it's very easy to shut it off, and it's like, okay, I already know why it is like that. I already know. You tell yourself, and that is the beginning of dishonesty, actually.
Anjan hase, Anjan roy, Anjan base anant दिखाए. Am I saying it wrong? What was it? Something where it's like, yeah, it was Mati, or yeah, it was Anjan, where
अंजन नाचे अंजन गावे अंजन भेस अनाना
Anant
ऐसा कुछ
दिखावे.
अनंत
Yeah.
And the comment.
This is
Yeah.
exactly what you were saying, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
reactions. It's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will read next lines.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, the point was to fully complete the chapter, but now as we are talking, however long it goes, it goes. If it
Yeah.
stops in the middle of the chapter, middle of the, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
The point is to talk about it. So the chapter starts like this. Isn't shallow wellness just hidden pain waiting to show up? Shallow wellness, just hidden pain waiting to show up? Question mark. You must have noticed some people who are always sulking, and then there are others who wear a constant smile and speak in that soft, sunny voice. Ask them how life is, and they quickly respond, all is well, all is well.
Mhm.
Real wellness is precious, but fake wellness is just self deception. It's the opposite of real wellness.
Real ones. Yeah.
Yes.
How's life? Does what?
Oh, it's awesome.
Right.
That's just my awesome my response.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and these are just learned. These are just memorized responses we have learned, and we don't even have to think about them. The moment somebody asks, "How is everything?" Oh, all is well. That automatically comes, and we never ponder over, is it really so?
In North America, when people, you come across people, they say, "How's it going?" and they just keep walking. They don't even
Yeah.
wait.
They
Sometimes they
don't even wait
respond.
for your response. Yeah,
They
yeah, they don't.
like someone asks how's it going, the other person responds back with how's it going.
How's it going? How's it
Yeah.
going?
Oh yeah, right,
There's no answers
exactly.
to this question.
Yeah, they
It's
no
just
answer.
a same pattern. How's it going? Good. And you? Good.
Uh,
That's it.
that's
Exactly. Yeah.
So this is more
That's.
about, this example is more about how conditioned we are to even utter things,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And talking about wellness is like when I say all is well, who am I lying to, right?
and it's probably okay to even like not disclose how life is going to someone else who's asking you in general. Probably it's small talk. Maybe that is fine, but you never stop and ask this to yourself also, right? Maybe
Yeah. Never.
you're acting always that somebody asks you how are you, I'm going to say all is well. Maybe you start believing that uh, that idle talk, or that just those are just words, but you start believing in them. You never
Yeah.
stop and ask that, okay, is my life really well, or is it okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I saw that movie Three Idiots,
Yeah.
and when that line came, "All is well," I was so fascinated with that line. I was like, "Oh my God, it's such a nice way
Uh,
to make your pain go away, because you
yeah,
just tell your like inner voice like all is well." I mean,
yeah,
in the movie he says that इसको बेवकूफ बनाना कितना आसान है, इसको कुछ भी बोल दो ये विश्वास कर लेता है. So I was like, oh yeah. And then I listened to Acharya Ji, and he just blew that thing. I mean, like, all is well. What are you talking about? What kind of dishonesty is this? So
Mm.
you're never going to look at yourself. You are just telling yourself a lie, a big lie. Nothing is well.
But when you say such a thing, the society thinks you're such a pessimist person who's, I'm trying to tell my heart all is well. And I found this Brahma Sutra from Bollywood. And now you're, you're saying it's not well. Why do you want to be so pessimistic? Hmm.
that could be still useful, I would argue. Key,
Mhm.
like how I am seeing it is, like you said, Alok, that it's so easy to fool the
Yeah.
mind,
Yeah.
or yourself. If I know that it is easy to fool myself, I can use it to my advantage, right? But I have to first know myself, and then what happens is, if I am doing something right and I am getting afraid, I know how to fool myself, or I know how to just distract myself
Mhm.
and still keep doing the right thing, right? So
Right.
that's how I
Yeah.
also, that's another way to look at it.
Yeah. You can make use of that for the right thing.
Yep.
But you can also make use of that for continuing with the way you are,
Yep.
and
Which is wrong.
never. Yeah. And
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
that's where things go.
That's where intent comes, right? If you know that like you are trying to be better, then yeah, along with that intent, if you apply the knowledge of yourself that, okay, this is how I operate, or this is how I can trick myself, both of these have to be together. So yeah, without intent, you're only going to misuse that.
The
I
chapter,
mean,
sorry.
the 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 famous sentence, "Who am I?" How badly it is used in the spiritual circle. So I think the first time when I asked Acharya Ji in one of, we were just walking, I think, and we were just talking, and the recording was going on, and I said like, what is the depth of this? Like, who am I? Like when you say, "Who am I?" So I'm just trying to understand this. Who am I? Acharyaji's response was, in this moment, what you are, that is who am I for you. I mean, if you are being an idiot and asking yourself, who am I? So you have to acknowledge that I am an idiot. In this moment, I am an idiot.
Yeah.
So who am I is a moment to moment thing. We just try to generalize that whole thing, and we think like, okay, the answer is already given to us from outside. You are a Shuddha Buddha Atma, and then you are trying to do a reverse engineering to come to that point. No, I mean, this is just all
Yeah,
uh,
this is more
being very
useful.
dishonest. Yeah.
I also have an example from my work about this all is well thing that when in the morning I have people who are working on the floor, putting like equipments together, doing the labor work, and then when we meet at the in the morning, good morning and everything. If I'm asking how are we doing today, the response would be, and I've seen the pattern in most of the people, like 5 or 6 people working on the floor. If one they have learned from each other, they would say living the dream,
Yeah,
Mm.
living the dream.
living the
Yeah.
dream. And then after like an hour or something, like I have a personal cabin, I work in the office, and I have a confined environment, like controlled environment and everything. The person working outside, if it's hot outside, if it's cold outside, and he's passing by, he would say, "Oh man, I wish I could be here. I would be working here."
I'll tell you, this
How? Yeah,
living the dream thing is right. It's like a very sarcastic comment,
yeah,
and there is something
Hmm.
spiritual in it. You know
Mm.
what it is? When somebody says living the dream, he's basically saying that I was given a dream that everything will be all right, and here I am in a 9 to 5 stuck, and hate this shit.
yeah.
Living the dream, bro. Living the dream. It's that. It's that.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's sarcasm.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Oh, wow. I never
It's-
saw it from that. I thought like they're actually living the
Yeah,
dream.
I thought the same thing.
Probably
Yeah,
they are just faking it.
yeah. I just thought that one person is saying and they've learned from somebody else and then just repeating the pattern. That's what I thought.
As a
Yeah.
kid, when you don't know what this is about, you are given a dream. There is going to be a completion at some point, and you buy that dream. We all buy that dream, and that completion never comes. Never comes. 10th grade, 12th grade, shadi, wedding,
Yeah.
whatever. Bache, it never is over.
Do this and you'll get this. Just do this.
Mm.
ये कर
And
लो बेटा.
even for the ones who have got the dream, like Canadian dream, American dream, where it's like mansions, aeroplanes, jets, even they are scratching their itch so hard that they're bleeding. And we see the representation of that in Epstein files now.
Mhm.
Right.
Mm.
They are still not okay after getting
Yeah.
all of that, you know? Such an
Right.
animal, it can never be happy.
Yesterday
Yeah.
I went to a kids clothing store. I was going to see a friend who had a baby, and then I just thought I can take a book. I took the book on parenting with me,
Oh my
but then
God.
I thought that's the one thing he might like the couple would like or not. They just keep it aside. I thought I can take like a cloth that would be like a pack of things I'm gifting, and I saw this clothing store. I don't know the name, but the thing that came to my mind, the owner of this company, that was a big store, right? So I thought that the owner of the company, he's selling these products. Would that be a person into an Epstein file or doing some kind of things, right? On one side, he's spreading happiness with clothes or toys and things, but on the other side, he might have the same mentality, right? That he is doing the same shit as Epstein file has
Mhm.
showed us, right? So that was like a question in my mind. I didn't went through searching for who's the owner of the company, but
Right.
that was just a tendency that came into my mind. That on one side the person would be selling happiness, and on the other side he would be exploiting the happiness he's selling to,
Yeah.
right?
Anybody who's selling happiness is potentially like
Yeah.
most likely somebody who knows how to exploit you, and they're using it. So yeah, like they say in some advertisements, right? Uh, XYZ suit company for the complete man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're telling you that you're incomplete,
Mhm.
and then buy our products to
Yeah.
get complete.
Yeah. That's how they sell, no? They use the highest truths like
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, open happiness. What? What are you talking about?
Right now you're
MSG, water,
unhappy.
and sugar is my happiness.
No, they're telling
Exactly.
you right now you're unhappy. Take the
Oh.
sugar water, then you'll get happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Also, there's a thing with the people like there are my friends, and whenever I ask them like they used to ask me like why there's this spirituality, the self knowledge, all that feel, and I used to say them like because it there's a suffering everywhere, so it points out that thing. So, but they used to say like we don't have any suffering in our life, but if all these companies, all these retail stores, all they are selling is happiness, like you come to us and that shows like you are suffering,
Wow,
you are not. Yeah, they are selling
that's
you
Mhm.
happiness because you are
such a good
suffering.
insight.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're buying them too.
You're buying. Yeah.
I that reminds me of I'm a personal trainer, so I have a lot of clients coming to me, right? One of the ladies, when they're working out, if they ask me questions and stuff, so she was saying I was interested in Buddha, like as if like it's an object or something. Like okay, and then like so. I went to a meditation thing for the from the Buddhist whatever blah blah blah, and they Buddha said the first statement is there is dukh, there is whatever the English word for dukh is, unhappiness,
Sorrow. Sorrow.
sorrow, there is sorrow. Why does he say that? I'm like, haven't you felt that already? That was my first
Mhm.
thing to her. She was like, no, everything is fine, like I have everything, where is the sorrow? I'm like,
Mhm.
are you sure? You have everything? You have no problems? She's like, no. Whenever I go to these meetings, they're always talking about like the sorrow, the sadness. Uh, and now, when I heard that, I'm like, should I tell her that she's sad or let her find out herself? So I thought that, and then I said, if you are so happy, then please make it your priority to spread this happiness to others. And that's the best I could say to her. But I knew she was not.
She was a she was a white
No,
lady
no.
or
Hindu,
Indian.
Indian, yeah.
Because there are different levels of sorrows, and Acharya talks about them in so many sessions. He mentions taptre, so adi bhautik, adi daivik, and adhyatmik. So adi bhautik is like the sorrow which you get by the loss of some material object, some materialistic thing. If you are losing that, you get that sorrow because you were too attached to it. It could be a person, it could be a thing which you are so much attached. So that is adi bhautik. Adi daivik is something which you cannot find out the reason for that. Like, I mean, it could be accidental, it could be something which you cannot. Adi daivik is also, if you go into the roots of it, it is somehow, it is adi bhautik. It is actually material, but in the spot when it is occurring, you cannot tell the actual cause and
Yeah.
effect of that.
Some
So that is,
illness or something. Yeah.
yeah, some illness or something. If you
Yeah.
could not identify, then you can call it like, okay, Bhagwan ki marzi thi, or like something like that. So that is adi daivik. So that is another kind of, and somebody who has gone beyond these two dukhs, then they get that existential angst, that is adhyatmic dukh. And there is no reason for that adhyatmic dukh. You cannot put that in that category of cause and effect.
Yeah.
There is no external thing it is happening. It is just happening because, I mean, now we can just put some
Wow.
word to it.
Yep. Yep.
Story.
That's
Sorry, Aman. Do you want to say something
but
first?
just one line. So like animals don't have this third one. So that's how we like humans are separated out, and that's the primary like suffering. If somebody is asking, then basically that's the existential angst is basically the thing they're missing probably.
And that is where your spiritual journey starts. If you don't have that, you have not really qualified yourself to explore this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every I think everybody have that, but they
Yeah.
haven't looked at it.
They
Yeah.
don't acknowledge it.
Yeah, they don't like now. Yeah.
I mean, Osho used to say कि जो एकदम मूलभूत प्यास है वो इतनी सारी झूठी प्यासों में खो चुकी है. बहुत सारी झूठी प्यासे तुमने खड़ी कर ली है, and you have gotten yourself entangled in those false thirsts, so you have forgotten about your real thirst.
You
That
cannot
is a,
you
yeah,
cannot get enough of what you don't want. You can't get enough of what you don't want. By the way, मेरे को एकदम I just realized there was this thing that happened in my early life. I was 7 years old. I'll be talking about this. The story just came up. We are all sitting in the car. I'm a kid, and we are about to go to the Gurdwara, and it says Dukh Nivaran. That's the name of the Gurdwara. And I asked my mom, and mom's friends are there, Masis and all the other people are there in the car van. Like, what does that mean? And they said Dukh Nivaran means your dukh, it takes away your sadness. Dukh, that's what it
correct.
literally means. I'm
Mm.
like, but there is still there is still
Yeah, yeah,
and everyone in the car got shocked, and I had to really hear from my mom later on that why you say such negative things in the gathering. I'm like, but I see you guys, no,
You
I
you are
can.
the opposite of Dukh Nivaran when they said. You gave them Dukh.
The creator.
the creator.
Again, we call these places where we the dead body, like we what is called cremation,
Moksha.
Yeah.
Mukti
Moksha
Moksha.
Dham.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are all the log dharmic words that we have given
The
to the
ambulance
Moksha.
or the van that comes to take,
yeah.
that also is Mukti Vahan or Mukti van, something.
Yeah, mostly mukti is related to, I mean, in the log dharmic point of view, mukti is like when it's like a mahanirvan, like
Ah,
when you die, it is your mukti.
Mhm.
So, this does not occur to many people that mukti can be when you are living.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's
consolation prize, right? When participation prize.
Mhm.
You participated in life, here you go, you're mukt now.
You are mukt now. What I wanted to add was one thing in that was in today's discussion, because somebody brought that Epstein example. Uh, I was ever since Acharya ji talked about Epstein, I wanted to know what this whole thing is about. See, I live in US. A lot of things happen in US. I find out from Acharya ji. I was not even aware of the Epstein stuff because normally I don't look at uh, so much of.
Media doesn't want it to
So
know.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, once you click on that link, the news, um, like in the browsing window, if there is a MSN news, it will just keep showing you all everything related to that Epstein. Once I think the algorithm just it is so smart and intelligent. It figures out, okay, this is what you want to see, so it will keep on showing you the same stuff. So what I wanted to put talk about was in today's session. I'm not sure who listened to today's session. I think one lady, she was talking about Quran, and there was a reference of um, mm, how many
But
uh,
72.
72
72
hure,
Hure.
hure. And they're like 12 to 15 years old. I was like, seriously, this is like, I mean, these are minors.
Yeah.
That's
So
someone's
then
dream. That's why they're selling it, no?
Yeah.
if that is the dream inculcated in your brain from your religion or from whatever um, for whatever philosophy you are following, so that makes this whole Epstein thing is absolutely valid.
Yes.
Yeah. And actually, there are countries where getting 12, 15-year-old girls married to, 40-year-olds is okay. So Epstein is kind of like a Mickey Mouse there.
Norm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, other day, one of my friends, he's just joined Gita community for like last 8 months. He's there, He was arguing with me that Epstein is not somewhere out there. It's Epstein is within us.
Absolutely.
And there was somebody. He gave me this example that one of his colleagues, he was criticizing or maybe using all kind of nasty language for the stuff which is coming out now from Epstein. The all those million dumps they are putting it on the internet. So he was so furious. My friend asked him a simple question: with that power, and with, if you are made to believe that you are above law, and you have all the money in the world, you have great network, and now you are provided with all these 12 to 15 years old girls, and they are just um, for you to take any advantage of them, or will, if you be in that position what Epstein was, will you not do it?
Exactly. I want to say something right where you're going. The dream of a normal, an average person is to get the expensive car, let's say. So as you go up in this I am in this dimension, you'll be like, I want the most expensive. So Bugatti or Lamborghini. Okay, check. Now, how expensive my house can be? 10 million? Done. You want an island? Sure. That's the highest.
Yes, yeah.
Now, then comes sex. How young the girl can be. Now you
And
keep going down and down in age, and this is what you will end up there.
yeah,
This is who we are. I'm sorry to say.
yeah, it is very hard to acknowledge that
Very
he
hard.
lives somewhere inside us. But I mean, it's very easy to criticize outside, but
So they
when you
said,
see the roots,
like he said, if you give power to somebody, they want to exercise that. Otherwise, what's the point of power?
what are the
You have power of, let's say, buying an island. You will try to buy the biggest island that you can. And if you have power over or influence over people, you will try to exploit it. There's no point to power otherwise. There's like, what would, there's, you have a toy, you would want to play with that, right? So,
Yeah.
exactly? Yeah, that's the reality.
yeah.
This,
Sensitivity is not that common. Yeah, detachment with the reality is there quite a lot. Should I continue with the paragraph? Since
Yes.
yeah,
we're getting recorded anyway.
Hmm.
yeah,
Many confidently say everything is perfectly fine. They aren't lying. It's just that their sense of well being is shallow. Yes, there is happiness, but only on the surface. Scratch it a little and it disappears. A small setback arises and their calmness collapses. Cheerfulness vanishes. Worry and sadness takes over.
yeah. I mean, I, before joining Acharyaji, I had this notion of that the peace is something when you are absolutely not having any thoughts, or when you do meditation, and when you go so deep in meditation that you lose track of like what's happening, and you are absolutely in alignment and in union with the existence, those kind of ideas.
Yeah.
And I would relate a piece from that point of view, like if I have less of these distractions and whatever going around, if I could keep myself detached to all those happenings around me, I'm peaceful. And then Acharyaji was one time he was giving an example, this long back actually. uh, he was saying that he went to some place where he was so tired, and there were dogs barking actually outside house, and they were barking like whole night they were barking. And next morning when somebody came to check on him, and they were like, did you actually sleep last night? Were you able to? Because we could not, the dogs were. He says, I have no idea. The dogs were barking. I mean, maybe they were barking. I don't know. Uh, but what it has to do with my sleep? And I was like, how come it has nothing to do with your sleep? And he was explaining that I have no such uh, condition in my mind that dog should not bark. Only when dogs stop
Yes.
barking, I will fall asleep. My body was doing the job. I was so tired, I did not even recognize that there
Yeah.
was dog barking. So
Why is bird chirping, not bird screaming?
yeah, exactly.
They're actually
That's
screaming at each other.
yeah,
But we find
and
it
that
like, oh, it's so soothing to ears.
is so swing. Yeah, that's all a part of conditioning. How we have conditioned ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this example today, right? About the dog barking, that someone is doing the bhajan in a small area in a village or something, and then the dogs are keep on barking, and someone asked, then why do you continue to do the bhajan even if the dogs are distracting us? Then this person who was doing the bhajan, he said that they are doing their work and I'm doing my work.
my word. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, this paragraph was basically saying that they're not lying. It's just that their sense of well-being is shallow.
very shallow. Yeah,
Yes, there is happiness, but only on the surface. Scratch it a little bit and it disappears. A small setback. A small setback. We were discussing a story in one of the latest we were discussing yesterday or something, where it's like someone's house is on fire, and as soon as he finds out that this house was sold this morning, he was not upset anymore because it's not my house anymore, right? And then as soon as he finds out that the papers of the house after this sale was inside the house, he again becomes upset. So
mm.
you see, it connects with a small setback arrives and the calmness collapses. This
Calmness
is
collapses.
this is how
Yeah,
fragile we are.
yeah.
Cheerfulness
Because
vanish. Yeah.
just tying it back, so because you based your wellness on shallow things, that's why like it's very easy to just puncture a hole in that shallow thing and your entire wellness is collapsed. So
Collapse. Yeah,
You know,
the,
on
the, the,
the
the mistake that we're doing is like basing our wellness on those shallow things. Your wellness should be something which is based on, I don't know, like much bigger things, I would like to say, but it should probably not even be in this world. Like, if you're basing your wellness on anything material, then it's kind of,
This tells about our wellness. Like what we need is something stable. We don't need something that changes, and everything we are dependent on outside. Uh, they change. Everything
yeah.
changes. So yeah.
you have heard this Instagram thing or TikTok thing where it says she's a 10 but
mm.
Yeah.
this is the
10 but
latest trend going wrong, right? She's a 10 but she has something dot 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 whatever that dot dot is. But that's exactly what it takes for your cheerness to go away
We've
and
given the
worry.
same example in the previous TWA chapter also.
Did I?
I just remembered, I think. No,
I
I think
didn't.
what is
I spoke
You,
over
I
on
think
that. That's why I remember. Yeah.
what is a 10 but? I mean, I didn't get that part.
you know there's a thing
They're
these days.
perfect, but
10
Oh, they
on
are
10.
perfect. Oh,
10
10
on
out of
10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of
Okay,
10.
got it.
But she, let's say, she has a bad habit of leaving her sandals here and there or something.
Hmm.
She doesn't have good hair. She's a 10, but she talks a lot.
Yeah.
These are the memes going on, right?
Yeah. The same
She's
Mm.
a,
thing is
she's
happening
a
in the
10, huh?
the same thing happens when you're doing an interview, right? The interviewer would say you're amazing, but
But
yeah.
Mm.
you're asking for
Okay.
too much money.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Anyway, if your wellness had real depth, would you mind break down so easily? Ironically, these are the people who say, I don't need wisdom. We were just talking about this. I don't need spirituality. I'm already fine. but they are the most prone to anxiety, depression, and mental disorder. Real happiness is wonderful. Be truly happy, joyful, alive. Even doctors will agree. Vedanta says, Nirmayo aham. Wellness is my true nature.
Yeah. Here, wellness is directly came to my mind was freedom, mukti. Mukti sabha
Separation.
hai. Freedom is your nature, right?
Mm.
So then
Right.
the second thing came was real wellness and fake wellness is directly goes with the dharma and lok dharma, right? And what we see around is the fake wellness, the lok dharma all over, all around.
There are so many wellness centers out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Coaches, programs. But see, he's
yeah.
saying these people, the one lady example I gave in the beginning, he's saying these are the people who are the most depressed and most anxious and has mental disorder. I cannot agree more because even
Mm.
though
Yeah.
she's saying she doesn't agree with Buddha, I can feel something off of her that tells me that she needs it the most. She
Mm.
needs Buddha the
Right.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess there are some benefits like comes with the with being in sorrow. Like you are working for 5 days, you hate your job, but there's something comes with it. On the weekends you get to enjoy. Like if you are not happy, if you are not sad, you cannot be like enjoy those things. If you are fulfilled in yourself, you can't be able to enjoy the party in a or a crowd or something. So you have to be sad to get happy.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. I remember Acharya ji saying this always that अगर तुमको सचमुच खुश होना है तो अपने आप को बहुत दुखी कर लो
Yeah.
तो तुमको वो खुशी ज्यादा फील होगी आई मीन यू विल रियली बी वेरी हैप्पी if you are extremely depressed or extremely going through some kind of suffering.
Yeah.
So
He was
because
asked.
द्वैत है ना, the duality that can only exist if one thing is totally off, then is the importance of the other thing. If everything remains on the same plane, then there is no experience. So for experience to for you to experience something, there needs to exist a contrast.
Is it
Without
that?
contrast,
Is it
Yeah.
just
yeah,
about contrast or is it about like a dimensional shift?
not a dimension. It is in the same dimension. It is duality. It's in the same dimension. Like suppose this is the white background here. If I put something of the same color, you would not even notice that.
Right, right,
Yeah, so it has to be for you to experience black. This needs to be white. If it was black and I put black, you will not notice that. So in that context,
right. Acharya once was mentioning in her young time, he stopped going to the parties, and the friends said to him, "Don't you like to have fun?" He literally quoted these few words, "Don't you like to have fun?" And then he said, "But who's really having fun? When I go to
correct,
the party, I can see in their eyes. I see why they're here, and nobody's really having fun." And I could
exactly.
relate with him so much when he said that.
I remember when he was going closer to a girl, and he was dancing with that girl,
Yeah.
and the girl was making too many faces. And he was being very honest. He just told her on her face, "You make too many faces." He was so pissed off.
Yeah. There is one last line, and then we can conclude after this, and we can continue to chat if you guys still have time. But for that real wellness to emerge, you must do something radical. You must stop being the same person you used to be. Only then you can rise above your past.
Yeah, it
There's
comes
also
down to day to day. Like it comes down to what we do from morning to evening. Somebody had asked this question, and if he was saying, uh, "Can you tell me why did you brush your teeth today?" Like you start your day, you brush your teeth. Did you pay attention? Why did you pick up that and why did you brush it? Just don't tell yourself that, oh, my mouth is feeling bad, so I'm brushing my teeth. There needs to have an observation. Why am I doing what I'm doing? So when you see small things like that, like why you are doing, where this is coming from, or what exactly is driving this action at this moment. I mean, you could open a fridge and probably you want to consume some kind of sweet
Mhm.
or some kind of like sugar if you have a sugar rush or something. Yeah, you want to, but then you should be able to see that in that. We normally we don't do that. We just go with those three influences: sharir, samaj, sanyog. Those are the three things which are always driving our actions.
Yes.
And when he says that you don't need to be the same person, he is actually making us look at all our actions, because ego cannot be directly traced. It can only be traced through our actions. And actions are very much in front of us, whatever we are doing in this moment, what we are doing and where it is coming from. Even just a acknowledgement of, okay, it is coming from bodily uh, impulsion or something like, maybe it is, but we have to acknowledge and have to tell ourselves, okay, this is what is happening. After that observation, what happens next, we don't want to worry about that. Probably something good will come out.
After that, you'll stop thinking about the dogs and you'll be able to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like I remember one discussion we had before about the prapti, achievement, and abhivyakti, which is expression. So when you don't, when you're have the center of clarity, it will be just your expression. Like if you are tired all day, you have done your work, you will be just you will just go into bed and you will sleep, or you will
Mhm.
do whatever. You don't plan anything after that. Just the clarity is needed. And then Acharya was talking about, gave an example that if there are two people and one person, I gave him 10 rupees to do something, he would take that money and do according to the conditioning that he has, like maybe a dance or something. And then if someone on the other side has just have a clarity and some music is going on or anything is happening, he will just go on to stage and start dancing.
Yes.
So that would be like an expression that came from clarity. And then the other person, he's just seeking for, he's not seeking, but he's running through to acquire, to add more stuff, right? So those are the two words that came to my mind: expression and uh, what
Achieve.
it's called, achievement.
Achievement.
Um, with this, I also think about something. I have been to many spiritual gatherings in the past. So there's a very common theme in some of them. And these gatherings could be high end or medium, depending on the budget that was set for that particular meeting, right? You see a lot of doctors, neurosurgeons, um, CEOs in spiritual gatherings, because there is a thing about spirituality is that you have to attain enlightenment. And
Mhm.
these are already achievers in their life. They have achieved the highest things any person can achieve. So now they're there trying to achieve enlightenment,
Enlightenment. Yeah.
only later to find out that it is every second you have to be mukt.
Mm.
You'll get an opportunity every second. And so the aggregate of that is mukti, I would say, because
Mukti.
you'll slip up. Everyone slips
Mhm.
up, right?
He used to give an example of binaries, right? How they work, like 1 0 1 0 and then 1 0. So he used to say that if we say the right action is one, right, and zero is your slip, right? So one will beget another one in the next moment, and the next moment, if you are committed in this moment, to one, it will make sure the next moment is going to be one again. So you build up from that. So in between, for some like external influence, somebody's phone came or something, some distracting thing happened, and then you again slip to zero. So now that zero will have power to take you to another zero. From that zero, because it is a valley, now you have to climb up. Now you have to again make an effort to get to that one. So this is how you measure or you track your progress in this journey.
It's
Like
about
how many ones you have and how many slips you have. From zero, know for sure to get to one, it is going to take effort.
it is going
From
to
one
take
to
effort,
one, it is. Hmm?
but eventually, like it is going to take effort, but eventually, like you'll start from a lot of zeros, right? So eventually,
Yeah,
it's the practice of going from zero to one that will help you. Every time you
that,
choose the one, eventually you'll
yeah.
get
In
practiced.
in the beginning, maybe there will be lots of zeros and then probably one.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, I mean, and again, you fall because these habits are so many, like for ages, we are conditioned for these things.
yeah,
So, probably for AP, now he has chosen a path where he's like one, it is like effortless for him to go to the next one. And it is a continuous series of one. So, you can, in that respect, you can see all the enlightened people, it is effortless for them to remain in that one. Does not mean that they cannot be zero, but it it becomes very it becomes their swabhav.
it's very. You can say they might still fall into zeros, but it's very quick
Easy
for
for,
them to get
yeah,
back up.
yeah,
And
get
for
back.
us, it takes a lot
Or
of time, a lot of
yeah,
effort.
I think of
exactly.
Socrates, he said excellence is a habit. Relates to this a little bit. It is also
Yeah.
it takes practice and to be excellent every time. Every time you want to sleep, but you choose to do the work, you're
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah.
So basically, we're saying this much effort we have to put in, which is what the last para is saying. You must do something radical. This is the radical thing that you must
This
do.
is the radical thing. Yeah. 'Cause, yeah, I mean, there will be distractions always. There'll be, I mean, a lot of times you will have other choices, and then you will have this priority in your head. Okay, maybe that is more important, or so
Mm,
you need to see for yourself.
yeah.
He always talks about this is the value system. He talks about the value system. What I used to value like 7 8 years back, and now what I value, it's a radical difference there.
Mm,
So that value system will decide what you are going to choose in this moment. Because and it actually changes, getting yourself exposed to spirituality, the readings, the learnings, the listening to, sharing reflections and all those things, and very this activity also. So that actually is transforming the value system inside in this very moment. So next moment it will, that value system will drive me to take the next best action automatically.
We've talked about the future or like the choice for future, and if we also cover the current thing, let's say the wellness that's being talked about, that how am I right now? So in that sense, like uh, if we connect it back to the previous paragraph also, like wellness, if you define on a lot of small things, then it's very easy to get lost. And then for future, you have to base it on something like uh, basically something like you have to stop being uh, like that example I really like, the dogs barking and sleep, right, of getting affected. This quite like this sums up this pretty nicely, that if you are well, then these small things won't bother you, right?
yes.
One
Right.
formula came to my mind when there was a question about discipline from the audience to Acharji, and how the person asked, I don't remember exactly, but she asked that how much discipline do I need in my daily life. So the formula that Acharya gave was discipline is equals to effort, which is equals to ignorance. So
Mhm.
the amount of ignorance you have currently in the state you are is the amount of discipline you need, and then the
You would
amount
need.
of effort you will need to get over that ignorance. So that will
Mhm.
go gradually.
Wow.
More the ignorance you have, more the discipline you will need, and more
Mhm.
effort is needed. And how, that's very which leads to effortlessness when the ignorance is at like that much of proportion, and then the habit again. And then the example that came to my mind, I think I heard from Acharya that you don't forget to brush your teeth or you don't forget to eat, then why you forget to go to the gym or take care of
Right.
your body, right? So that's what comes when you get consistent with your routine, the thing you're doing. Then again, the second thing came to my mind was a 21-day challenge or something like that comes, right? People do say that if you continue to do particular thing or going to the gym for 21 days, then it becomes a habit. I don't know how true that is,
Yeah.
but that's what the discipline is required for to be
Yes.
Yeah.
consistent.
Discipline is not something that I would probably like
Recommend.
recommend
Depend.
or depend on, like, because it's the value system that drives your time allocation, right?
Right. Yeah.
Discipline doesn't do anything
Exactly.
to your value system. Discipline just is very like mechanical. It's just
Yeah,
Yeah.
In
value.
If you value wrong things and
Yeah,
try to
yeah,
discipline yourself for the right things, it's not going to work. It's going
yeah.
to blow up on your face one day.
And
You'll
that's
be.
again ties back to the same thing. Like if you are basing your things on, like, if your value system itself is wrong, then
Mhm.
like the outcomes will of course be wrong. If your wellness is dependent on small things, your outcome will be very easily distracted, like very easily destroyed.
Destroyed. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I was saying in Sufism, they say, how can you forget your beloved? That's how they, in short, say
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Right.
You will never.
Also reminds me.
Hmm.
Good.
Yeah, I was just repeating the same thing. You'll never forget your beloved. But what were you saying?
Now reminds me of some Doha I was trying
Yeah.
to
Kabirji.
search. Kabir Sahib was, so there's this thing, Baid Mua, Rogi Mua, Mua Sakal Sansar, which is translates roughly to the doctor is also going to be dead, the patient is also going to be dead, the entire world is going to be dead. But ek Kabira naam hua, jehe ke Ram Adhar.
Aman.
Yeah,
So
Ramadar. Yeah.
Kabira is the only one,
Okay.
or like that person is the only one who's not going to die, whose wellness is dependent on something so big, something so uh, im, uh,
imperishable.
yeah, imperishable or timeless, or something that's so solid or not fragile, or if you base your wellness on Ram, then there's nothing that can
Yes.
Sometimes it is difficult for anybody to inspire to Ram because people have no idea what
Mm.
Ram we are talking about. So I would just say maybe what is in this moment, what do you think is the most important thing for you? Like, I mean, with all your intellect and everything, what you put in, and you think like this is the most important thing. I cannot think about. If you could just commit to that, if you could just commit to that from whatever understanding you have, I think
yeah.
you are already making a progress. I mean, Ram is like the ultimate, but the journey you will just go from like one destination to, because this is
Correct.
destinations after destination. There is no this is a
Yeah.
unending journey. Yeah.
Yeah, just to clarify, so Ram, when I say, it means basically, mm, if you read it in the Niti Niti way or the anti way, Ram is anything that is small. So you
Hmm.
should not base anything or your wellness on small things. Is the same thing as saying that you should base your wellness on Ram. So it's the
Right.
anti.
Yeah.
That's how I read it.
I was trying to inspire one person, and the best I could come up with was like, see about the best version of yourself, the
Mm,
highest. I mean, that version who is not influenced by anything, and that version is like free of all the conditionings, like the childhood conditionings and whatever you have learned through. So nothing is like driving you, and you are free. That
yeah,
best version. So see that best version as Ram or Krishna.
yeah.
Yeah, or it could be a Devi or whatever.
There's it could also be a wolf, right? There's two wolves inside your head. One is the
Hmm.
black one, the white one. You heard
Wow,
that
right.
story? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. You
And the
listen to
one,
the,
which one wins is
yeah, who
the
you
one
give
that you
power
want.
to.
Who you
Yeah,
feed.
Who
that you
you give
want to
power
win.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah, who you, yeah, exactly.
One thing that's coming into my mind right now is like by my personal example of I haven't slept well last 2 days. Yesterday there was the session at 2 a.m. in the morning, right? So I
Yeah.
was waiting and then I couldn't sleep
Mm.
well. And again the last night, then I was thinking when we decided to do this online session, right? So I was thinking, would I be able to do it? I was like, most of my brain was saying, no, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. But then I thought, what would happen after the session? The clarity I would have, the change I would have. I didn't thought much about it, but I just said the part that was resisting me not to be part of this online meeting, the conversation. I just told him to go away.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
was kind of a hype thing that I could go for. And
I
yeah,
yeah,
wanted to sleep
I'm
like
here.
also.
based on anything that's coming out of your understanding and not driven by your, let's say, fear or insecurity or something. That is always the way to
Yeah.
go, right? Is it right thing to do based on my understanding? Based on that, you decide, not
Mhm.
based on whether I'm going to be afraid or whether I'm going to be, underconfident, or how is it going to be in the results, what are the conclusions, or those things are probably just your mind overworking. Is it the right thing or to do or not is a very easy metric or easy, thing to judge.
Right.
I always try to push myself when it like there is something related to Acharyaji work or spirituality or something. It, if it's a right thing to do, I would just push myself to do that. And if there is a distraction which is inviting me, I always remember Acharyaji's teaching, "Post three kal ana."
Mm.
So so he always like the you have to like postpone it. If
Hmm.
you are not able to completely get yourself detached from it, you can at least postpone it.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't jump onto it like a monkey
Yeah.
seeing a banana and just jumping on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
For this
That's the
session,
best you can do.
yeah. For the
For the
yesterday session we
viewers,
had, yeah.
I just want to clarify the right thing when we say, because people who are listening in, I don't know if they're going to be able to make sense of, like,
Yeah,
when we say the right thing, what do we mean by right thing? So yeah, right thing basically means that anything that helps you be
yeah,
more free or more liberated, or anything that uh, gives you more clarity or gives you insight about yourself. Anything that,
Real wellness.
yeah,
today,
gives you
today
that,
on
takes you back
today
inside.
on Reddit, somebody has asked a question on Reddit, and I was answering to that question. They asked a question that I read Acharya ji. I think he's a person from Gita community only. I have gone through the literature of J.K. Krishnamurti and uh, uh, I think Osho also he mentioned, and they said that when I see these people doing activities like playing sports or swimming or watching a movie or something like that, I just cannot understand how this is related to right right action,
Yeah.
how it is helping me for the right action. That was the question he has put. So I suddenly, I mean, I was not thinking, but I just explained him in two ways. I first I explain him on a parmarthic level, that what the right action you call. So what kind of whenever we talk about the right action, whenever we talk about freedom or liberated one, do you want to see a liberated one only confined to certain actions and he is absolutely forbidden for other actions? Do you can you conceive the idea that that person is liberated who is not, who cannot do something simple as sports or music or swimming, or is he forbidden to watch a movie? What kind of a liberated person is that? So that was the first thing. And the second thing, I told him on a vyavharik level, on a practical level, that if you see the body as a tool for liberation, don't you want your body to be well oiled and serviced, to be, because if you want to use it as a tool for liberation, this needs to be in a good condition. So what is, where do you see a conflict in keeping this, and how it is not a right action? And coming to the movie part, there are two aspects to it. Like when you are watching a movie, there could be, like, maybe when, suppose somebody like us, if we are watching a movie, it could be an indulgence, it could be for entertainment, or it could be just some kind of distraction. When AP watches a movie, it's a different perspective. He wants to see the sickness in our society. He wants to see where human race is heading towards,
He,
and how
he probably
more he
uses those movies as examples to teach.
exactly